right, y'all. Welcome to our first Minisode of Money Honeys, where we,
Freddie,
Chantel,
and Devin,
get into it.
Yeah.
And
we love that. That was really good. We actually had a conversation if it was going to be a Doja ya or an Ariana ya before we started.
Give us Ari, please.
Yeah.
See, that's it. Okay. So today we're going to pause our chit chat for just a little bit, but you can come back next week for that because y'all know that we love to talk. But this is a mini-sode. We're testing it out. It's a vibe. We're just trying to give it to you quick and dirty, straight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Quick, dirty, and straight.
Mm-hmm. So today we are demystifying credit card points. The good, the bad, and the money.
Wah, 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 wah. We're going to give it to you straight without all the bank mumbo jumbo.
Why is it important to understand credit and credit cards? We're about to tell you.
So in lieu of a game, here are some fast facts. So Americans' total credit card balance is $841 billion in the first quarter of 2022, according to the latest consumer debt data from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Now, that's actually a $15 billion drop from $856 billion in the fourth quarter of 2021.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. With the decrease, Americans' credit card debt is $86 billion below the record set in the fourth quarter of 2019, when balances stood at $927 billion. However, it's unlikely to be at the beginning of a downward trend thanks to rampant inflation and rising interest rates.
Isn't that fun and cool? Cool and fun. And according to Experian, the average American has 3.84 credit cards, and the average American household credit card balance is just over $5,300, according to Experian.
Wow.
That's a lot of money, y'all.
Yes. Yes, it is.
A lot of money, y'all.
Billions with a B.
Capital.
Billions. That's insane.
The credit card industry, they are eating.
Wow. Yeah, they really are.
Eating.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But you know
also-
what? We don't want them to.
No.
No, we do. Let's sponsor us. No. Come back. Circle back.
We'll just eat with you. Just cut us a little slice. You know. All right, y'all, let's dive into credit card points and how to feel like you're getting free money from these people
After the break.
Welcome back, y'all. Feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about credit cards. Now, credit cards and debit cards are different. Many of you probably know this, but just to cover our bases, we just want to go over it super quickly. So debit cards are linked to a bank account. So when you pay with a debit card, the money comes out of your checking account in an almost quote unquote real time situation. So it's important to have the money in your account at the time of payment when you're using a debit card. With credit cards, you're essentially given a line of credit and then you pay the bill later. So the pay later situation is unfortunately why a lot of people end up in debt. Because if you're buying like a $3,000 couch, but you only have $1,500 in your bank account, then the time when your credit card bill is due, you're behind.
Mm-hmm.
And so that a big con of credit cards is their high APR rates, but we will get into this later.
Another note about debit cards is when, say, if you have a fraud or a scammer on your debit card and they use your debit card or your PIN, that money is gone. Usually it's gone.
It's really hard getting it back.
Whereas credit cards, because it's a line of credit cards can just be like, no, we're not paying that bill. And how they have that magic quality to be like, no, we're not paying for that. Sorry, gotcha. I have no idea.
Yeah. So fraud protection is like a really big thing.
I don't know
credit versus debit.
how they do that. How they're able to give the money back, like being like, you're right, kidding, just kidding, Walmart, just kidding. Like, I don't know how they do that, but they do that.
I think they probably just pay it because they just have money.
They can.
Yeah.
As
I think
we
they probably
mentioned,
just
they
pay
are
it.
eating.
They are
With a eating.
with a capital T.
Yes.
So personally, I have 3 credit cards. And then my partner and I have 2 credit cards.
Wow.
So I didn't realize you had all those credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, dinner's on you.
Right.
Ooh, I'm just kidding.
No, because we don't spend money we don't have.
That's right. That's right. Wow, how cute. No, we don't do that.
So cute.
But because of these credit cards, over the past 6 years, I've gotten rental cars, hotel stays, flights, and even this iPhone that I'm holding in my hand right now.
It's mine. But wow.
An iPhone,
Literally.
she says.
Literally free.
Yeah.
And that's all because of credit card points.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't have as a robust of a credit card profile as you do,
Mhm.
but I have 2 credit cards. I
Mhm.
have one with Bank of America, which is like that was my very first credit card,
Mhm.
ever getting that one. So it's kind of just like the basic
Mhm.
situation. And then I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is my travel credit card, and I've been using that. I mean, that's the one that I kind of use as my go-to,
Mhm.
just because it collects more points than the Bank of America
Mhm.
credit card does.
Mhm.
Fun credit card point stories. I mean, well, I recently learned that you could use credit card points for Airbnb. So I actually booked an Airbnb for Ruff's birthday in San Francisco with my credit card points. So that was cool.
Feels good.
It feels good.
Because it's free.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It feels good. I haven't done a car or anything, but I've done flights.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done a hotel. I haven't done a hotel yet. I haven't done a hotel yet.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I've never done the cashback option. I know
Me
that.
either.
I've
Me
never
either.
done that.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
I'm like,
You're not about to give me cash back.
yeah, I'd
I know
rather
you.
let's just save the point.
Right. Yeah.
It feels more responsible saving the points than asking
Yeah.
for cashback. Because also it's less money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If
Right.
you ask for cash, it's less than what the points are worth.
How dare
Mhm.
they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't like
Ridiculous.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 credit cards. One of them is a business credit card.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a USAA credit card, which is something I just want to point out. If you've had somebody in your family be in the military, sign yourself up for USAA. This isn't an ad, but I will say they have remarkably lower interest rates because military.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Jaja. And then I have the Chase Sapphire Reserved. Ding, ding.
Triple that.
Wow, ding. We love that credit card. In fact, we were all at the desks at BuzzFeed. I remember when we started yakking, chatting,
Chacking.
chatting,
Yakety chack.
about this credit card. And we got really into it. And I paid for my entire 30th birthday trip to Colombia using credit card points.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
Now that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I accrued the credit card points over like a year and a half. And
Yeah.
I also, that was like the year I signed up for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So I had all those
Yes.
travel
Extra points.
bonuses.
Bonus
Yeah.
points. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. Yeah. And it was amazing.
Love it.
Mhm.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
I have debit cards for each of my bank accounts, obviously, but I literally do not use them. I've used them maybe 3 times over the past 10 years because it's only to withdraw money, and it's very rare that I use cash. I basically use my credit card like it's cash. I never use my debit card.
See, now sometimes I go on a debit card diet because I be out here and I sometimes just spend a little too much money or get a little too free and
Mhm.
wheeling with my credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I have to add the debit card back into the mix
Mm-hmm.
for a couple weeks
Mm-hmm.
to retrain myself. No. This account is backed by silver. You know what I mean? You can't overspend your means, bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this happens twice a year where I have to go on my debit card diet.
I mean, that's healthy.
That is so interesting that you
Mhm.
rarely use your debit card.
Yeah. Literally never. If I'm traveling, I leave them at home. I'll take one for one of my accounts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I would say I probably use my credit card 60% of the time and
Mhm.
my debit card 40% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably partly that. I think looking at because my credit card bills,
Sometimes. Ooh.
ooh,
Yuck. Yeah, I know.
I'm like, I cannot right now. I'm like, I cannot this month. Freddie, just use your debit because you don't want to see, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5.
Mhm.
You don't want a
$1,000.
bill. Yeah. You don't want a bill.
Yeah.
I basically use it as cash. So it's I only spend what I know is like available to be paid because I pay my credit cards every single Sunday.
Oh, so you do it on a
I do it
weekly
weekly.
basis.
So then it's basically like that's also how I'm monitoring my spending because
Smart.
it's like whatever's on my credit card, I know that that's how much that I spent that week.
And some people tell you like just set up automatic payments. I don't know. Some people say just do automatic payments to like pay your statement balance,
Mhm.
but then you run up against not having enough in the bank to cover the statement balance. So it's
Yeah.
smart to pay it weekly.
I just pay weekly. And then I have it set up on automatic payment just in the event that for whatever reason I forget.
Mm-hmm.
But so that way I'm not like accruing interest, but I pay them every Sunday.
Interest is a bitch.
Interest
But
is a bitch.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to her.
Yes, we will.
We'll get to her.
Mhm.
So most credit cards give you some form of reward. They do this basically because they want you to spend money that you don't have so that you don't pay the bill. So that way you accrue a lot of interest and then you pay them lots of money. Okay.
Evil.
It's evil. It's predatory. But that's also the reason why rewards exist. So if you're strategic about your credit card and how you use it, then you can reap the rewards and not pay anything extra.
Yeah.
Maybe an annual fee, you know? And so the rewards come typically in the form of cashback and or points.
Mm-hmm.
So we have cashback cards like you were talking about, Fred.
Mm-hmm.
And so those ones, it'll just be you buy stuff, they give you a percentage of money back, usually around 1 to 5%. Sometimes it's a little higher. Sometimes cards will be 6 or 6.5%, like Amex, or I think Chase has one like that. And it can be sometimes in a specific category, like, okay, if you spend money on groceries this month, you get 5% back for that. Other times it'll be on just like your overall purchases and overall cashback card. So if you want to go the cashback route, it's like really helpful to research what you spend your money on. That way you get a credit card. So if you spend a lot in groceries, then get a cashback card that really basically rewards you for spending money on groceries.
Or if you have an Amazon problem, like I do, there are Amazon credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
You can put that bitch up, like slink it up, and then it gives you cash back, like 3 times the points or whatever.
Mm-hmm. You can also pay for Amazon with your Chase points.
You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really quickly, I actually didn't know. So how does cashback actually work? Because I've never actually done it. But in my head, I'm thinking you pay for X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's your credit card bill. Are
Mhm.
they just lower the amount that you spent?
They deduct the
Or do
amount
they
of your
give you
statement
actual-
balance.
Okay.
They deduct off
Okay.
of your statement balance.
Got it.
Doesn't feel as fun.
No.
It doesn't.
No.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's still a balance. There's still money that
It's still a bill.
Right.
Like
It's not
I don't
cute.
feel cute about it. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like, oh, I'm really winning here.
There's no shopping involved.
no
There's
travel.
No
like, I'm just
travel.
confused.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It's not fun.
It's not fun.
But you could still get the getters using the points. You know what I mean? You can still be predatory to the predators by using the points.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So credit card points are typically the other reward. So these are basically like the issuer's kind of like little form of currency that they give you based on your purchases. And then you exchange those points for goods or services. So like Amex has their own points, Chase has their own points, B of A has their own points, you know. So if you strategize about how to use your credit cards, you can avoid credit card debt and get a bunch of free stuff like the stuff that we've been talking about, because the points accumulate just from you buying stuff that you're already going to buy anyways.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I use my credit card for everything, because I know that I have my own like payment situation for it that I feel good about. And because on any purchase, even if something costs $2, I'm getting 2 points, you
Mhm.
know? And so it's like, it all just adds up. So I can be just living my life. And then at the end of the year, I'm like, wait, where did all these points come from? Oh, I was just living my life.
Yeah.
And that's free money.
Yeah. Which credit card do you use the most, Shanti?
So for all my personal stuff, I use the Chase Sapphire.
Oh, yes. We love the Chase
I
Sapphire.
use the Chase
Wizard.
Sapphire. The fun fact, when the Sapphire line like first came out, the Reserve didn't exist. It was just the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So I had the Preferred. And if you ever like sign up for a credit card, get approved, and you need it in a pinch, just call them and say, hey, I need this rushed to me. And then you'll have it like 2 days later.
Yeah, because they want you to spend that money.
They want you to have that
They're
money.
like, please, here, go for it.
Yeah. So if it's like, oh shit, I got to buy a couch this weekend and it's already Tuesday, let me like call them, and then they're going to send it to you immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should talk about the credit cards really fast that exist at like the Target checkout or like the Macy's checkout.
Yeah.
Because those points don't really feel like points, right? They're just cashback at a Macy's or
At a Target.
They feel very limiting.
right. So although it could be very tempting in the moment to sign up for one of those Target cards because they offer you like 25%
Money
off.
Yeah.
They're really not that worth it.
They're not that worth it, and they're easy to forget about. Yeah. A friend of mine had one for like Pier 1. Her mom had one for like Pier 1. She forgot about that credit card, had like a $30 purchase that she just forgot to pay.
Oh no.
She was refinancing her student loans and her credit was shot because she hadn't paid that one bill for this literally happened. She hadn't paid that one bill for like a couple years because she just forgot that she had that credit card.
Oh,
$30. Couldn't refinance her loan, her student loan, which would have saved her like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, you don't have to tell me more. I'm not signing up for them credit cards at the checkout.
When they say, do you want it? Nope.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Because I mean, us personally, feel like there's a lot more to be gained from having a more universal credit card.
Shop around.
Shop around. Exactly. Shop around.
How do we feel about, I mean, maybe we're getting there. I don't know, but the airline credit cards, right? So like the Deltas, the American, like, the Uniteds, like
I had one.
I don't have any airline
did?
credit cards.
I had one. Yeah, I had a Southwest credit card because
I remember this. They had a deal.
They had a
the buddy
deal.
pass.
They had a companion pass. Yeah, and so it's like, so their credit card, it was $95 a year. That was like their annual fee. The annual fee is oftentimes like waived for the first year. And you got a buddy pass. I think you might have gotten like multiple. So I was like, okay, because my partner and I were like flying a lot, and we were flying Southwest a lot, and so we did that and got a couple like free flights out of it. But I found myself not using it very much because the mobility of the points with my other credit card, I just had access to so many more things. And so like a couple months ago, I wound up canceling my Southwest credit card, which canceling a credit card knocks your credit score a little bit. But something that I did before I canceled it is like with your bank, I was able to transfer my line of credit to different cards. So I think I had my line of credit, it was like 17,000 on that one card. And so then I was like, okay, let's add 9,000 to this card. Let's add 6,000 to this card. And then we're going to add like 2,000 to this card. And so then basically I was able to take the 17,000 and just spread it around my different cards and then cancel that card.
I had no idea you could do that.
Wow.
So then that way you're like I forget the word. What's it called? Like the maximum amount of like credit
limit.
Yeah. So that way it's like my overall credit limit, like over all my credit cards, like wasn't really affected that much.
Wow. I hate that they lower your credit score for canceling a credit card.
I know.
Because sometimes people just need to cancel credit cards.
Yeah.
It's like they're not using them anymore,
Right.
or they're transitioning to a different part in their life.
Yes. Shit changes. Or
like the pandemic. When the pandemic happened, you don't need an airline credit card.
Yeah.
You don't need one because you're not going to use it. But that's a ding on your credit score. Credit score is fake. Fuck the credit score.
Yeah. So it's like the different credit cards have different rewards. And some reward highly for travel, some reward for dining, for groceries. Some partner with things like Peloton, Equinox, DoorDash, Grubhub, etc. So choosing the best credit card often comes down to what you spend the most money on and what type of rewards you want. So in my 20s, that's when I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve because it rewards a lot for dining and travel.
Mm-hmm.
So and then every other purchase is 1-to-1. If I buy a $10 sandwich, I get 10 points. If I buy a $500 plane ticket, I get 1,500 points. And so it's easy to see how it starts racking up really quickly. And then also often in reward stores, like with Chase, they have different deals in there. So like right now, if you book a hotel through the rewards store, you get 10 times the points.
Wait, what do we mean the reward store?
Okay, so I just found this out, and this felt again a little predatory to me because they say, oh, like for the Chase, because I also have the Chase Sapphire Reserve.
Mhm.
Ding.
Mhm.
They say that you get 3 times the points when you book travel
Mhm.
with your Chase card.
Mhm.
That's how they phrase it.
Mhm.
So that doesn't work. You don't get those 3 times the points if you log on to delta.com and buy a flight there.
Right.
You have to buy through their portal to get
Yeah,
those
yeah,
3
yeah.
times the points.
Not quite. So in your statement, you're rewarded 3 times the points.
What?
Yeah. So like for dining and travel. So it's like if you bought
Right. But like those extra points that you were talking about, like when they send you a flyer in the mail that are like, you get now in this limited time offer, you get 5 times the points on travel.
Mhm.
It's usually if you buy it through the portal.
Yes.
Their little online portal.
Within that
Yes.
time period.
Yes.
Yes.
So like if you see that brochure, don't get excited and then go on Amazon and spend a lot of money and think that
Yes.
you're going to get 8 times the points, which is 3 times the 5 or whatever.
Yes.
You have to go through the portal that's
Yes.
attached to your bank website,
Yes.
which I just found out as a 33-year-old woman a couple months ago.
So wait, how did you book your flight and hotel for your birthday?
For Colombia?
Yeah.
All through the portal because I got it
Oh,
through.
yeah, through the
use the
portal.
points.
Okay.
So usually, if you're using the points, you have to book it through the portal.
Right.
But if you're not using your points, and you want that 8 times the points, you still have to book it through the portal. And at the end, they say you can use your 3,600 points or whatever,
Yeah.
or you can pay $800. You
Mhm.
click pay the $800.
Mhm.
Boom, bum, bum. You got to go through the portal. Like you would be spending your points.
You
Yeah.
pay the 800. Oh.
So at the end, you click, no, I don't want to use my 36,000 points. I want to pay the $800 for the flight in cash.
Mhm.
Oh, to get that 8 times.
Yeah.
To get the special offer.
Yeah.
So you're still paying with with dollars.
Mhm.
Yes.
But you're trying to get the deal. So
You're
still
paying
have to
with
do it
your
through the
credit
portal.
card through the credit card site.
Which feels
Got it.
like an extra step that they don't really walk you through.
It's interesting because I never thought it was anything besides that. But I don't know why I thought that. Maybe because
you're smart.
Well, I think because I don't get mail from my banks, and so it's when I sign on, I'm paying my bills every week, and so I'm like constantly seeing it, and so it's like it's more inherently like through the app
You're learning
versus being advertised to me.
Ah.
So that's probably why it registered differently with me.
Right now, we're learning that if you're going to have credit cards, lots of them, you got to interface with their apps.
Yeah, get the apps.
Get the apps.
Get the apps and look at the statement a
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. The Chase app and then the Amex app.
Yeah.
Because my partner, I have 2 Amexes.
So you bought an iPhone
Yeah.
with your credit card points because
Yeah.
I've only bought travel. So talk about what it was like to get a product in the mail.
So it's because at that time, through the rewards store, your points were worth 1.5 times the value on Apple products.
Mm.
So my points actually like went a lot further than if I just like bought it outright with money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got my iPhone, because it's like I didn't actually need whatever, like 10,000 points. I needed a lot less than that because each point was worth 1.5 times their value for Apple products exclusively. And so with credit cards, there's a lot of different programs like that happen throughout the year through different seasons. And so it's like that's also a way that you're like saving money because you're buying stuff with points that you got quote unquote for free because you were buying other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for free if you get into credit card debt and then you're paying super high interest rates on your credit card bills, you know? But if you are strategic about it and you don't rack up that interest rate, then they're just giving you shit.
Yeah, and every card has their own like portal and
Yes.
site. Like we talk a lot about the Chase Sapphire Reserve because we influenced each other to buy it all.
Yeah, truly.
But I laugh at the Amex folks out there. And this is why the Amex people are like have their like secret clubs, like they have their like Amex preferred. I don't even know, golden platinum Amex dinner parties and shit. Or you can see Anderson .Paak at the Forum for like 80 people if you're Amex member, and it's like, ooh, y'all are a cult.
Yeah, I
want to be a part of that cult.
I have my Chase Sapphire, and then I have an Amex Gold card and an Amex Platinum card.
Well, she's got both.
Got both.
This woman has it all. Let me look into Amex Platinum and Gold. So what's the difference?
So basically, they reward you for different things. So dining and like basically everything food is the Gold card, and then other purchases are your Platinum card.
And with an Amex card, you need to pay them off in full every month. Like you should do that with every credit card. But like Amex,
I mean, I pay them in full every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
So how do you? So for Gold, right? You said you use like Chase Sapphire Reserve for your day-to-day, everyday sort of situation. The Gold,
for stuff,
when does that come in?
So now that I have essentially like joint finances, so the Amexes are joint cards. And so it's like anything that I'm buying just for me, I still use my Chase Reserve. And then anything that's essentially for the household, it's either on the Platinum or the Gold. Devin is smiling so big.
It's your single gal card, your bachelorette card.
It is.
Let's go out, ladies.
Girls on me.
Literally. It is. And then the Amex ones are basically like, depending on what type of purchase it is, influences what card you use. Because like for Amex ones, it's not 3 times the points like the Sapphire. It's 5 times the points.
Wow. Yeah. Amex has got some crazy
It's a lot
cards.
of points. And then I also had early access to the Harry Styles concert tickets.
Oh, you know, that's always been my thing. I've always been really jealous of the American Express card holders and the Citibank card holders because they both allow early bird access to buying concert tickets. And I've never had them.
Yeah.
Amex, is it with Ticketmaster that they have these deals, or is it
something like that?
Yeah, it's at.
They have.
It's definitely with Ticketmaster. I don't know if there's other ones.
They have them at the Bowl too.
I haven't had these cards for very long, but Harry Styles was my first utilization of it.
What is it? Live Nation. That's another.
Sure. Yeah,
they're like cultured. They're like, you want to go to the Met, baby? We got you.
Yeah,
yeah. Like we're the cultured card.
Yeah. So we have points, and then we also have sign-up bonuses.
Oh, we love sign-up bonuses.
Exactly. Sign-up. Many cards will have sign-up bonuses. So like even when we got the Amex, as long as we spent $4,000 in purchases on that credit card within the first 6 months, you get 70,000 points.
And that's such a good feeling to be like, gotta spend this money. I got to.
And when you're in a joint household, spending $4,000 over the course of 6 months, it was easy.
Yeah.
Especially because we got them to like pay for stuff for the wedding. Yeah. And so anything that we've been able to put on a credit card for the wedding, that's what we've done. And so our goal is like, can we do our honeymoon in solely or at least mainly points that we're getting to pay for our wedding?
Yes, we
my
can.
Gosh, that's actually perfect. Literally all the money we're spending on the wedding, we're going to get a free honeymoon. Basically.
Literally.
That's the thought process.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. That's
you heard it here.
You got to do it.
So a lot of times it'll be like, okay, if you're like moving or if you're like buying a couch or something, and if you're thinking about getting a credit card, do it then. That way you can
accrue.
You can spend enough money to get your sign-up bonus.
Yeah, I think... I'm probably. I also didn't tell you guys. So we booked flights
to
Italy.
Oh my God,
Frederica!
When?
in September.
Oh, that's the best time to go.
That's what I read. That's what Google said. They said May or September. I'm like, well, it ain't happening in May.
Yeah.
And I don't want to wait until next year. So.
May is yesterday.
Yeah.
Where y'all going?
Amalfi Coast.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
Really excited.
Beautiful.
And-
Beautiful.
And we want to hang out in that area for a couple weeks. Like,
I hope you get engaged there.
How
oh my
rich.
God. It would be our 2 years. It's our 2 years.
Ruff, are you listening?
Well, it's our, listen,
Okay. Back it up.
it's our 2 years of hanging out,
okay.
not our 2 years of being officially in a relationship. Now,
Sure.
our opinions differ here.
He said y'all were dating.
I say we were together. We were in love.
Oh, yeah. No, Ruff, you were in love. Okay?
So you're going to act brand new.
You were
and try
already
to,
married
you're
in those
pretty much
first
already
segments.
confusing.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
But I say that to say maybe I'll sign up for an Amex so that by the time September rolls around, I can probably rack up those, spend that amount, and then get
Get your bonus.
The nice hotels.
the nice
Luxury.
Yeah.
Or upgrade, like your
Yeah.
flights.
Yeah, because there's also different cards. So I don't remember which Amex it is, but it like automatically gives you gold status at like certain hotels and shit like that, which qualifies you for like free breakfast, which qualifies you for like a free upgrade, like shit like that. So like a lot of credit card perks basically make you feel bougie, but you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is have that card.
live your life.
Can I tell you about one of the bougiest perks we have with our Chase Sapphire Reserve thing? Is the Priority Pass.
Yes.
Can we talk?
We should talk about
We
the
should talk about
Priority
Priority Pass is a little credit card that's not a credit card, but it's a little pass that gets you into lounges at the airport. Now, if you've never been inside of a lounge, I hesitate to suggest to go to one because the airport will never be the same for you.
Yeah.
Like it's free food, it's free drinks, it's quieter. There aren't like
Sometimes you can take showers. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's massage chairs.
Yeah.
It's free Wi-Fi.
if you're traveling internationally, it usually works a little bit better for you.
Absolutely.
And that's when you need it.
Yeah.
The most. Those
Yeah.
lounges really come in handy. Nationally, it still works. Like I still like slide in like to the ones in Detroit. or
Atlanta Airport Chase Sapphire Lounge is good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Great soup there.
Great
Okay.
soup. They like, well, and maybe this was, I don't know, this was a long time ago that I went, but they like deliver your beverages to you, like at your seat.
Yo, this is for having the credit
This
card.
is just for having it. Yeah.
This is for having the credit card. You get free access to all this stuff. Literally free food, free meals, free service.
Yeah. So,
So-
great perks.
Yes. So there's different perks with different cards. So like one of our Amexes pays for our New York Times subscription, pays for Hulu, pays for Peacock, pays for our Uber Eats, gives us a credit. You know, even the Chase Sapphire gives you a $5 DoorDash credit every month.
It's tied to Lyft. Yeah.
It's tied to Lyft, you know? So like these credit card companies align themselves with other companies that offer like products and services to make it more enticing to get their credit cards. And so what was crazy about the Amexes and why we were like, hey, we actually need both is because the perks were completely different on each card. And the 5 times of points categories were completely different on each card. And so it was like, oh, this one will pay for our Hulu. This one will pay for New York Times. This one will pay for half of the Equinox membership because I do Soul Cycle at Home, which is owned by Equinox, you know, whereas like Chase Reserve, they're partnered with Peloton. And so if you're a Peloton user, then you get a lot of money back for that, you know, but so like they're all partnered with a bunch of different people. So there's actually a lot of stuff that you can get for free. And it's just credited to your account each month.
And y'all don't even need to read the fine print. You can just Google this shit.
It's super advertised because they want you to want this card. And then other credit card perks, you can get rental car insurance included. You don't have to add it on.
Oh, I love that.
The Chase Sapphire already does that. So never buy rental car insurance because you're already covered.
Or flight insurance.
Or flight insurance, exactly. They include purchase protection, return protection, fraud protection, oftentimes no foreign travel fees. The Reserve even has baggage delay insurance. So it's like if your baggage gets delayed and then you have to spend money buying like essentials, toiletries and shit like that, they'll reimburse you up to a certain amount. They They can pay for your TSA pre, for your global entry, for clear.
Yes, I forgot
all
that I
that
got
stuff.
my TSA pre and
List goes
global
on and
entry.
on. You're feeling bougie just by
Yeah.
having something that you have to spend money in your life anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Why not spend it with something that's going to get you something for free? As long as you feel good about budgeting and handling your finances. And honestly, like you having the debit card diet is so great. That's so great, you know? So we've talked about a lot of the pros. This all comes out of price, you know? So we talked about the good. Let's talk about the bad.
After the break.
The cons, the bad, are annual fees. Typically, the better the card, the higher the annual fee. I want y'all to guess the fee on my Amex Platinum card.
Is this a flex? It's going to be a casual flex.
It's not.
How much is
It
this?
feels like a flex right now, but it's not going to be one, and I'll tell you why.
I'm guessing $800. $800 because Amex is like, join our cult and you can see Carly Rae Jepsen from 2 inches away because you're a member. You know?
2 inches
I'm gonna
away.
guess. I'm gonna go ahead and say. I'm gonna say 700.
Okay. Freddie, you're only $5 off. So the annual fee is $695
Why do they do that? Why do they do that?
because it makes it feel
makes
like
it
you're
feel
spending less
cheaper.
money. Saying a $700 annual fee versus $695 feels so much cheaper.
That's so rude.
Wow.
We're on to you. Money honeys, we're on to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why is that? Because that's giving us sticker shock.
100%.
$700?
100%.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know for me, the annual fee scared me a bit, mainly because with like my, run of the mill Bank of America credit card, I didn't have to pay anything. They give me my card. I still get some points here and there. You know what I mean? It felt fine. Like I wasn't necessarily like, a credit card is a commitment, but it didn't feel like a commitment that I couldn't handle. And so when I was looking into the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and at the time the annual fee was $495, and so I was like, well, this is a lot of money. B, it's already a credit card that I'm going to be like spending money on. And I was like, I understand that like you generally have to kind of like keep your credit cards if you don't want like a ding on your credit or things like that. And I'm like, well, I can pay the $495 now, but in 3 years, where am I going to be financially? And am I going to be able to like upkeep this annual fee? So that's something that made me nervous. Do you have like for anyone who is like alarmed by these annual fees, like what would you tell them?
Yeah. So basically for me, it came down to math because
Well, that's where I'm fucked.
Same.
Damn.
because with these cards, so it's like even with the Sapphire, you get a $300 travel credit.
You do.
And that applies to literally like parking meters. It applies to Lyft. It applies to Uber. It applies to taxi. It applies to so much. And so it's basically like a $300 discount, or if you book a flight, it's toward that flight. And so then, okay, the annual fee is actually $300 cheaper. So where the math comes in is, are you making more back in points than what you're paying them? So it's like, if you're only going to use that card very minimally, it might not be worth it. But if you're planning strategically about it, you can absolutely earn from having these credit cards. So like even for this Amex, there's a $200 hotel credit. There's a $200 airline fee credit. I get half of my SoulCycle paid. We get different subscriptions paid, just literally taken off of our statements. And so after we factored in all of the like credit that we're basically getting paid, as well as all the points that we're accruing, like paying for our honeymoon in points is the annual fee more than that honeymoon? No. annual fee is thousands of dollars less than that honeymoon.
Yeah.
For your birthday.
Yeah.
Was your 30th birthday trip more than what those points were? It's
Oh,
probably way less.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it's like, in that case, you made a bunch of free money, essentially. And so there's definitely sticker shock, and which is why like every credit card is not for every person. We shouldn't each have 20 bajillion credit cards, you know, but it's about having ones that fit into your life that you can use with how you live your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think the credit card companies, because like if you're like me, you're thinking, what are these sons of bitches getting out of this? You know, they're giving me all these perks. What are they getting out of it? They are banking on the fact that you may not know about all these perks, that you may not be exploring their app.
So true.
And they are banking on the fact that you're going to forget to pay off your bill every single month so they can jack up the interest rate. And that's where they'd make that money, y'all.
Exactly. Because interest rates on credit cards, on all the credit cards we're talking about, are absolutely insane and 100% predatory. 100%. We hate this, you know? So that's why it's just gaming them back, because in our society, we have to spend money. We just do. And so it's, how can you spend money and get a little bit back too?
You got to play the player.
And not give them, not give it to them.
No. Talk to me about these sky high APR rates.
Yeah,
Talk to me
let's
about
get
them.
into it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so it's like, this is a reason why credit cards might not be for everyone. And it's also a really good reason to start what I call low and slow.
Low and slow. Are you talking about line of credit? Credit limit, yeah.
Like my first credit card, it was like a little student card, and I think my credit limit was like $300. But so it's like, that was a way for me to learn what credit is and how to budget, because I literally couldn't spend more than that money. Not that I had much more than that money as a college student anyways, but it's a really good way to get yourself used to paying it off and how to treat that kind of fake money.
So a question about that though.
Yeah.
Say you have a credit limit of $300.
Yeah.
And every month, well, I guess you're paying it off, but like there are points in the month where like you're up to $295. Would that affect your credit score? Right? Because you're pressing up, you're flirting with that limit.
Yeah.
I guess that's why you have to pay it off. So your credit score doesn't sniff it out and ding you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then as you make more money, you can always call your bank to ask them to up your credit limit, or you can.
They love doing that.
Oh, yeah. They do. I feel like they're like, sure. How much?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Of course they do, because it's
Yeah.
a predatory practice, but you don't have to give them the satisfaction. And so you can up your credit limits so that your credit utilization score is lower. Because if you're spending $300 from a $300 limit, you're using 100%.
Right.
But if you're spending $300 from a $1,000 limit, completely different story.
Right.
So, and then the other thing even, so like I initially had the Sapphire Preferred. And then when the Reserve came out, I was like, hey, I want to get the Reserve because the point value is better. But I could bump up my Preferred to the Reserve, but I wouldn't get the signing bonus. So then what I did instead to avoid the annual fee was I bumped down my Preferred to their like Chase Freedom Unlimited, which has 0 fee. And then I signed up for the Chase Reserve and got my signing bonus because it was a new credit card.
Miss Thing, that's so smart. Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's like, if it's ever like, hey, this credit card isn't working for me and you don't want to close it, just bump it down to something that has 0 fee. Wow. So that's what I did. So on that card, it's my like, I spend $15 a month on it because there's just like one little purchase.
I feel like
that's like recurring.
I feel like you need your own like Miss Cleo show where it's just you looking at camera and talking about the mysticism behind credit card points, because you got
You
this
got it
down.
figured
I
out.
love points. I love points because it's
Yeah.
just, if you, and the main thing is you have to make sure that you have the money in your account. It just has to be in your account. Otherwise, this shit isn't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
They want it to not be worth it. You know, they want you to pay them all that money because it's how they make money.
I know.
So the last con is just credit score. Each time you open a credit card, it's a credit check, which can be a ding to your credit score for a little bit. So don't open like a bunch all at one time. And then newly opened credit card accounts and hard credit checks account for 10% of your FICO score. So it's actually not that much. There's other stuff that accounts for way more. And it always goes back up. But the positive is that you're adding more credit, adding utilization, all that stuff that we were talking about. So, you know, there's definitely stuff to consider, but don't necessarily back away from an annual fee for sticker shock if you've done your research and you realize how it can actually be better for you in the long run.
Know thyself.
Know thyself. Yeah. You don't have to like, well, if I have this card, then I'll be good about paying my credit card off. No, learn with something that has zero fee. Learn with something that has like such a low limit that you will pay it off. You know, you don't have to. You don't want to play with these interest rates because they're crazy.
They are insane. They are insane. 15%,
even more.
Yeah.
Even more.
I didn't know they were that high.
Some they can be like 25%.
Yeah.
So it's like, honestly, my top 3 suggestions are treat your credit cards like a debit card. Don't spend money if it's not currently in your account. Make a payoff schedule for yourself, be it weekly, be it every 2 weeks, be it once a month, you know, whatever. Just make sure that you have that schedule that you can meet every single month. Set up automatic payments and set it to pay the full balance, not the minimum balance. Pay that baby off.
Got to.
Pay it off. And then research all the rewards and perks because you may be paying for stuff that you actually don't have to. Your credit card may actually pay for that for you.
Yeah.
I will say it's a great feeling to transfer that New York Times subscription under the credit card that takes care of it because then you're like, this is free now. Bye.
Literally.
Yeah. You know,
it
it's a great
is.
feeling.
It just comes off of the statement. As a statement credit. I just watch it. It's blue and it's minus like $8.49 or whatever.
Love
and
that.
I'm like, this is great.
Yeah. Well, I'm convinced.
Fred's giving herself her own honeymoon.
I literally.
I want to stress this is not like a credit card like apologist, whatever, you know, but it's just in our society, we have to spend money. Why not make money on the money that you're spending? But only do what's within your means and what you're comfortable with. It's okay to build up to stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, I've been looking into the Amex thing.
We'll talk after this.
Join Amex for your exclusive opportunity to smell Drake's sweat.
No,
Yes.
Amex better sponsor us after this.
Literally.
I know we're not sponsored by anyone. This is truly just like real world stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't like having a lot of different banks, which is why I have kind of like essentially 2 credit cards from 2 different credit card issuers. And that's like kind of it. I don't have like a bunch of bank accounts everywhere because I just know that for me, that wouldn't work for me. It'd be too chaotic. And I don't like chaos. I want to know like, okay, here's what it is. And I can look and say, I spent a little bit more than I wanted to this week. I'll spend less next week. And then I do it and I say, I spent less next week. Good for me. You know?
Yeah.
Feels good.
Feels good.
Wow.
Well done.
We love this. This is why I love the podcast so much because we really are just trying to give you hot tips on how to like work the system because they work us all the time.
Yes.
All the time. And it's important that we know how to bite back.
Bite back, y'all.
And I will.